All right, let me turn this down a little bit, and I'm gonna do a full review of this plane that everybody has been asking me to do. Uh, it's the Sukhoi SU-57, a Russian fighter jet or stealth jet. Um, this is $9, and personally, everybody thinks it's garbage, which I can understand given the price point. And there's only the one developer's only had like a couple airports and whatnot. But quite honestly, in my opinion, if you're going to compare planes, that you need to compare this to the machinery, stuff like the A-10 Warthog and the A-4 Skyhawk. Those planes need to be priced lower than this plane because this plane has features that the other planes don't. Especially, well, most of the planes in here, fighter jets really only, but stuff like the little things count. Like, you know, the little things count. Like, you can tell the person that made this plane put a lot of time into it. I don't know how much, but either way it goes, let's get started. So, in my personal experience, I love this plane. For $9, you can't go wrong. Unless you got the hardcore flight simmers out there that want to say, oh, it's trash, it doesn't provide enough. But in my eyes, the way I look at this plane is I see it like this. If you take a minute to look at it, like most of the lower end planes don't have a lot of these features, and I just think for $9 it's a steal. This plane should be priced higher than what it was, but personally, in my opinion. But most of the stuff inside the cockpit does work. The landing gear lever works. The refuel pod works. The parking brake does indeed work. The knobs do work. All that. Most of the taxi lights and stuff do work. For some reason, it's not working now. Maybe it's because I got my lights key bonded, so I don't have to continuously flip them on and whatnot. But you got the two massive screens and stuff that gives you your information about where you're flying. All the, FLCs and all that, the nav modes and all this do indeed work. You got a beautiful heads-up display. Not the best. And the windows, which I have seen, do have, scuffs on them and stuff, which I'm sure the military on their side actually, keeps that top notch and whatnot. But it's not that big of a deal in my opinion, because once you do buy this plane, if you're interested in planes like the F-22 Raptor, then you will love this plane, because I know a lot of people that I've seen online, especially Twitter, wanted the F-22 Raptor to come to the Xbox version of the flight simulator, but unfortunately the developer, sent in the model and all the current world updates, it was not able to do so, but eventually it'll get there. All these switches do work. The master ignition switch, all this. The only switch that doesn't seem to work over here, which is why I cannot do a full start and stop guide, is because the left fuel control switch does not work, but the starter switch does work. I do not think the fuel pump switch does not work. These buttons over here do not work, which is, unfortunate, but then again, you gotta remember, it is a $9 plane, so, for the price point, you cannot go wrong. I think it's one of the best planes, honestly, and I've purchased DC Designs and India Fox Teco's planes, and those are very, very good, well-detailed planes. Personally, we need to see more content from them guys, and I know they got a whole bunch of projects coming on the way, but besides that, you can open the canopy. Really nice animation you got going on there. It's one-to-one with real life. I think it is kind of bugged visually on the side if you do look there, which is unfortunate, but I'm sure it'll get patched in the future. I wish this plane had a higher rating in the marketplace, because I really believe it does shy a lot of people away when they want to purchase this plane. But like I said, $9, where can you go wrong? It's just, it's beautiful nonetheless, but you can turn the lights off, the cockpit lights, the tail lights, the taxi lights. It has strobe lights. Sometimes you got to hit the right button instead of the throttle control, which is kind of annoying, but hey, what are you going to do? If I could rate this plane 1 through 10, I'd probably give it a solid 8, just simply because somebody sat there and worked on this plane. I know the person that made it, Demio Sync, if I'm saying that right, was the first person to have the F-16, which was indeed copyright striked, but I do not think that he would put all his time and effort into this plane to, to get it sent to the marketplace for it to just get taken down again. So I do believe he did it right this time. If not, I'll have to deal with that in the future, which is, it's just part of life. But besides that, it has great attention to detail when it comes to the afterburners. If you actually do look this plane up on YouTube, it is a part of this plane in real life. It's not the best looking, it is not going to be the best looking, animations for $9, but I think it's personally great. Let me get my bearings here. The sim's been acting up recently. I can't change the weather and all that, but besides that, it's been doing great. I mean, considering something for $9, this is fairly well detailed. I would say it's probably one of the better looking, best planes. Personally, I personally would buy this plane again if something ever happened to it, or it's just a great all-around plane. It's not on par with like DC Designs and India Fox, like I stated before, but for what you're paying for, it is an enjoyment to fly. It really is. But besides that, you have your infotainment system here, which shows you all the stuff, I'm assuming, which I really don't use because I'm not like a 100% hardcore flight simulator that sits and turns on all the engines. I mean, it depends on the day, really, but I just really enjoy flying the plane. So we'll get in the air and take off and stuff, and I do have some gripes about it in the air, but in the sound, it also does sound like the Eurofighter Typhoon, which is kind of unfortunate, seeing as how in real life this plane does have it has a special sound. It's sort of like a screaming sound. But I think the real selling key point of this plane is that most of the fighter jets in this plane don't have jet streams like this plane does. And I personally think that that's cool as hell, because if you go online and look at the plane online in real life, the plane does indeed do this, just, without the lack of sound. But besides that, that's the overview on it. I mean, I'm just gonna showcase it a little bit more. I will showcase how I don't know if it'll do it, but besides that, this plane is fast. It's really controllable, unless you're going to lower speeds, which is meant for the aerobatics portion of the plane, which is a real life feature of this specific model plane. I'll try to do it and hopefully not die, but normally what I do is put on just full afterburners and pull the flaps down and then immediately hit the brakes, and it'll send the plane to like a almost pretty much stop, which is, quite fun. And if you manage to get the plane back in control, you can do some tricks with it and whatnot, and it's got the real cool, real nice stream in the back. Overall, I hope to see more planes by Demio Sync. Hopefully, ones that'll be here for a long time. I'm hoping that multiple developers can post multiple planes that are the same. Like maybe he could post F-16, and then someone else could, put more time into making F-16 like SC Designs, which I'm hoping to see by Christmas, which I will also do a review on. But besides that, if you're the type of person that just likes to hop in and fly and enjoy the scenery and just love the way the plane looks and to cut through the air, I honestly would recommend this plane. You cannot go wrong for a $9 plane. I don't understand people's mindsets when they say, "Oh, I took a gigantic loss buying a $9 plane." I mean, you really didn't. If you're very familiar with the top tier planes like SC Designs and DC Designs and India Fox Teco and all those good people out there that make jet planes, then this is nearly on par with those. It just could be a little bit better, high resolution, and they could have a lot less bugs. And I think this plane could easily sell for $20 or $30. It comes with 3 different liveries, and it's just great. I personally think it is one of the greatest planes in the game. You should definitely check it out if you got the $9 to spend. It is Friday. I've been flying this plane for around 12 hours, and I haven't gotten bored of it yet. But besides that, I hope you guys did enjoy. I recorded this off of Twitch, so I'm going to have to post it to YouTube. Anyway, see y'all later.